Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Janabala Girivaradha
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yamuna Chiravana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Amadava
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Janabala
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Janabala
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yamunati
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamunati Ravan
Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
What verse? 6.
Today, 6:17.
Chitiketu Vacha
Shraketu Vacha
Esha
Esha
Lokaguru
Sakshat
Sakshat Dharmam
Bhakta
Aste
Saste
Sharinam Aste Mukya Sabayam Vai Mituni Bhuya Bharyaya. Sixth Canto, Chapter 17, text number 6.
Yes.
Chittiketu Vacha
Shraketu Vacha
Esha Loka Guru Sakshat
Esha Loka Guru Sakshat
Dharmam Bhakta
Sharirinam
Aste Mukya Sabayam Vai
Aste Mukya Sabayam Vai
Mituni Bhuya Bharyaya Chittiketu Vacha
Shraketu Vacha
Esha Loka Guru Sakshat
Esha Loka Guru Sakshat
Dharmam Bhakta Sharirinam Aste Mukya Sabayam Vai
Aste Mukya Sabandam Vai
Mituni Bhuya Bharyaya
Shraketu Vacha
Chittiketu Vacha
Esha Loka Guru Sakshat
Esha Loka Guru Sakshat
Dhammam Bhakta Sharirinam
Dharmam Bhakta Sharirinam
Aste Mukya Sabayam Vai
Asta Mukya Shariram Vai
Mituni Bhuya Bharyaya
Mituni Bhuya Bharyaya.
皆さんどうぞ。
anybody's there.
Chitaraketu vacha,
Chitraketu vacha,
Shaloka Guru Saksha,
Vishaloka Guru Sakshat,
Dharamam Bhakta Sadivinam,
Dharmam Bhakta Shririnam
Aste Mukhya Sabhayam Vai,
Aste Mukhya Savayam Vai
Mitani Vyuya Varya Yaya,
Mitani Bhuya Bharyaya Chittaketu Vacha.
Chitraketu vacha,
Chittaketu said,
Chitraketu said,
Esha,
Esha,
this,
kore,
Loka Guru,
Loka Guru,
spiritual master of the people who follow Vedic instruction.
the spiritual master of the people who follow Vedic instruction, ベーダの指示に従う人々の精神的なマスター。
Sakshat,
作者、
directly,
直接、
Dharmam
ダルマン、
of religion,
of religion、宗教の、
Bhakta,
バクタ、
the speaker,
the speaker、話して、
Sharinam,
シャリナン、
Sharirinam,
シャリリナン、
for all living entities who have accepted material bodies.
for all living entities who have accepted material bodies、物質体を受け入れたすべての生き物。
Aste,
アステ、
sits,
シッツ、座っている。
Mukhya,
ムキャ、
the chief,
the chief、チーフ、
Savayam,
サバヤン、
in an assembly.
in assembly、
By,
by、
indeed,
indeed、確かに、
Mitani Bhuya,
ミチニブヤ、
embracing,
embracing、抱擁、
Varyaya,
バヤヤ、
with his wife.
with his wife、彼の妻と。
Chittaketu said, Lord Shiva, the spiritual master of the general populace, is the best of all living entities who have accepted material bodies. He enunciates a system of religion, yet how wonderful it is that he is embracing his wife, Parvati, in the midst of an assembly of great saintly persons.
第6節です。チトラケトゥは言いました。一般の人の精神指導者、シュ・シバは、物質肉体を獲得したすべての生命体の中で最高です。そして、宗教制度を確立しました。それでも、偉大な聖者たちの集会の真ん中で、妻パールバティを抱いているとは、なんと素晴らしいことなのでしょうか。
Yeah, no purport, no?
Yes.
Next verse. Jantadaras Tivra Tapa Brahmavadi Sabhapati Anki Kritya Striyam Shaste Gatari Prakrito Yata. Lord Shiva, whose hair is matted on his head, has certainly undergone great austerities and penances. Indeed, he is the president of the assembly of strict followers of Vedic principles. Nonetheless, he is seated with his wife on his lap in the midst of saintly persons and is embracing her as if he were a shameless, ordinary human being.
第7節です。毛玉の頭髪のシュバは確かに厳しい苦行と修行をしてきました。本当にベーラ原則を厳格に守る集団の長です。そうであるにもかかわらず、聖女の真ん中で妻を膝の上に乗せて抱いて座っているのは恥知らずの普通の人間と同じです。
Report. Kaisatsu. Chittaketu appreciated the exalted position of Lord Shiva. Therefore, he remarked at how wonderful it was that Lord Shiva was sitting like an ordinary human being. He appreciated Lord Shiva's position, but when he saw the Lord sitting in the midst of saintly persons and acting like a shameless, ordinary man, he was astonished. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks that although Chittaketu criticized Lord Shiva, he did not offend Lord Shiva like Daksha. Daksha considered Shiva insignificant, but Chittaketu expressed his wonder in Lord Shiva's being situated in that way.
解説です。チトラケトゥはシュシバの高貴な地位を褒めました。故にシュシバが普通の人間のような行為をしていることはなんと素晴らしいことかと論評したのでした。シュシバの地位を褒めましたが、シュシバが聖者の真ん中に座って恥知らずな普通の人のような行いをしていることを見て、チトラケトゥは驚きました。 シュリラ・ビシュバナータ・チャクラバルティ・タークラーは、チトラケトゥはシュ・シバを攻めましたが、ダークシャーのようにシュ・シバを侮辱していなかったことに注目しています。ダークシャーはシュ・シバをつまらないものだと考えましたが、チトラケトゥは高貴な地位にいるシュ・シバへの驚きを表現しました。
Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyanajana Shalakaya Chaksuramilitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sadrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Shivada Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitam. Look at the difference.
Yes. Beautiful. Dark.
Not dark, it's like filtered on black and white. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Revelation Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachari Hariva.
Yes.
No, for the altar.
Oh, yes.
Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarana. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Revelation Shrimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namani Namaste Gaur Simurtaye Gunakarane Rupanuga Viruda Apasiddhanta Dvanta Haranya Namo Gaurkishoraya Satchipadaya Mutaye Vipralamba Rasambode Padambudaya Te Namaha. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namane Gaura Shakti Surupaya Rupa Nuga Varayate Gaura Virbhavi Bhume Stram Nirdesta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhoma Jagannataya Te Namaha. Namo Mahavaranaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gora Tuishe Namaha. Panchatatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktatyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Vigatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Veshavanam Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya. So this is an interesting explanation. That Chittiketu, he was apparently criticizing, but he wasn't offensive. Do we have a translator?
Not yet.
Not there. Well, then we don't have a translator.
Yes.
So we can just speak English. I don't know if anybody's out there anyway. On this hangout. Let me Jamuna. Jamuna, are you there?
山田さんいらっしゃいます？通訳は難しいですよね。
はい、私は難しい。モヒニーはどうですか？モヒニーの方が英語わかります。
We just saw now is going on in the country called Ukraine.
Please, only English, and then maybe Takasri Pataji join.
Anyway, there's a festival going on in the Ukraine they have every year. 8,000 devotees in there. Hachiman, Hapsen, Kinshinsha, one place, one country.
一つに、一箇所に、一つの国に。
Huh? She said only English, and then maybe Tapasuri would come. It's just really amazing that we don't have things organized. Only in Japan this can happen. So anyway, we had 30, 40 devotees chanting in one place. For Japan, that might be bigger than in another country having 8,000. Because some countries, people are just naturally spiritual. And many countries, if we do Harinam, huge crowds of people come. Everybody's taking movies and pictures, people join and dance. In Japan, we get all excited if one person even notices that you're there. Right? So there's the Chitraketu. It seems like he wasn't exactly offending Lord Shiva or criticizing, he was just like surprised. Because the first thing he thought of was how great Lord Shiva is. So, and that's the proper way if we want to instruct somebody. If they made a mistake, what we consider a mistake, then we should first point out their good qualities and then say that this one thing is not so good. This is the Vaishnava way. Instead of just immediately saying, you're stupid, what are you doing? You shouldn't do this. This is the way most people deal with their children, most people deal with their employees in companies. So people are very frustrated, they don't feel like they're appreciated, they don't feel like they have any purpose of living. So we have a lot of people wanting to suicide or feeling depressed or so many things because we're not looking for the good. The Chitraketu, first he looked at the good and he's glorifying Lord Shiva. And then he's bewildered. But partly, anyway, it comes up later. So this is, we chant if we're in the temple, but I found somewhere we had initiation and, we always talk about the 10 offenses. So I asked the devotees to say, and most of the devotees didn't know what the 10 offenses. Devotees in the temple know because they recite them every morning. And they recite Vanchakalpachurvishcha, Kripa Sindhuvya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaha. Now whether we do that with wholeheartedly and really thinking how all the devotees are very great and we're respecting everybody, or we're just saying it like a parrot, we don't know. We can teach parrots to talk. If you look on YouTube and just search parrots chanting, you can find these birds. They're chanting nicely. Some of them even singing, but we don't know what they're thinking if they're hearing. So we can also chant like that, called mechanical chanting. We're just, the sound is coming out, but the mind is somewhere else, somehow or other. We call it multitasking. So like the computer can do that now. Used to be computers could only do one thing at a time. And then you had to leave one program to go to the next program. But now you can have 4 browsers browsing different internet, and you can be doing your accounting, and it can be playing music and everything all at once. So we try to do that, but the science says the human brain can't do that. The human brain actually switches off and goes to another thing, and switches off and goes back. So we think we're doing 2 or 3 things at the same time, but really we're not. But we're not doing anything attentively. like driving. One time I just put a question up on Facebook. Is chanting japa while driving, is that inattentive chanting or inattentive driving, or both? So we've got a lot of comment, more than I ever get comment, you know. Most were saying it's not a good idea. Some were saying, well, yeah, it's not so bad. Because so many devotees, that's when they chant their rounds, when they're driving the car. So of course, if you're in the traffic jam and you're not moving, it's not so bad. But if we're moving in the traffic, you know, we can't concentrate on either one properly. But, you know, we can do many things without concentrating, but we don't do them so perfectly. We can have inattentive chanting, inattentive, you know, cooking, you know, like in a restaurant. So we say we don't eat in restaurants because the cooks they're just cooking for money. There's no good consciousness. Prabhupada one time in Mayapur in 1975. That was the first really big festival. In 74 I wasn't there, but that one was more international. In 75, even from America, they chartered one 747, only devotees. Stopped somewhere in Europe, picked up more devotees. So that was the first one. It was only like 500 devotees, but at that time it was very big. So the Mayapur devotees organized a kirtan contest kind of thing. So they invited many of the local Bengali kirtan groups. They're called sampradayas. And they're very good musicians, like really phenomenal. And they dance, everything is perfectly choreographed, and all the drum beats and cartels, perfect, beautiful singers. But they're sahaja, and so Prabhupada didn't like it. The devotees were fascinated. Oh, look at that one, it's so good. Prabhupada said, what are they doing here? Why did you bring them? They are just chanting rupee, 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 rupee. It's an offense to the holy Dham. So they canceled them, and then we just had different devotees, different temples, you know, presenting their kirtan. And Prabhupada was very happy with that, even though they were not, you know, very polished at that time. Nobody had really, you know, they just sang from the heart. It wasn't all the study of ragas and everything. So Chittiketu, you know, amongst, of course, Shiva is not ordinary. He's saying here that amongst people it took a material, but Shiva doesn't have a material body. Shiva is Shiva Tattva. We have Vishnu Tattva. So like Panchatattva, we have 3 Vishnu Tattva and 2 Jiva Tattva. But like Radharani or Gadadhar are not exactly Jiva Tattva either, because they're always in spiritual, they're never get bewildered. But not Vishnu Tattva. So Vishnu Tattva, then all the incarnations of Krishna, they're all Vishnu Tattva. Although some are empowered, they're Jiva, they get empowered. And then they're not different in one sense. But so the Jiva Tattva, that's us, the souls, we can be either fallen or not fallen. We can forget Krishna. We have that freedom to forget Krishna if we want to. Krishna will arrange. We forget him. But Shiva is Shiva Tattva. He's not Vishnu Tattva, he's not Jiva Tattva, he's in between. And so it's actually Shiva and Parvati who glance over the material energy and put all the spiritual souls. Vishnu never touches the material energy, but Shiva does. That's about the only difference. Sometimes we see Sadashiva, he's an incarnation of Vishnu actually. And so like sometimes Advaitacharya is called Sadashiva. Sometimes he's called Mahavishnu. He's both. There's not much difference. So you have this relationship between Advaita and Nityananda, for instance. Nityananda is the original. Balaram, he's non-different than Balaram. And so from him comes all these other expansions, finally down to Mahavishnu, Vishnu Mahan, Sayasya Kalabhishesha. He's a part of a part in Mahavishnu. Most people that know anything Vedic or Hindu think Mahavishnu is like the ultimate. And they think Krishna is the incarnation of Mahavishnu. But it's really that Krishna is the origin. But he's so far remote that not everybody catches on. But we are very fortunate that we have the Srimad Bhagavatam, we have Brahma Samhita, we have the disciplic succession, which makes it clear. And the Goswamis who carefully studied all the revealed scriptures and found, the proof of all these things. Because it can be very bewildering. There's a Shiva Purana. Shiva's almost the same. As far as power and everything, there's very little difference between Shiva and Vishnu. So when people hear about Shiva like that, they think he must be supreme. Can't think of anything could be greater. Especially a little cowherd boy playing a flute, because when we're in the material world, mostly we admire power. Someone's very powerful, very influential, very rich, then we admire them. So that's why people like to watch the fights, the samurai, the sumo, right? They honor these powerful people. And they have magazines telling you the richest people in the world. And they admire them. I saw one that's called, what is that magazine, Fortune or something. So they're telling you the richest men. And one issue was telling you the richest Yakuza, worldwide. And how he makes his money by gambling, and this one makes his money by whatever. And they're admiring them because they have so much money. This is Kali Yuga. It's predicted in the Bhagavatam. Man will be judged. If a man is poor, he won't be respected. Prabhupada knew that, so like he said, we have to make very beautiful temples in Mayapur. He said he preferred living in the hut, the bamboo hut, but nobody will come. You have to make opulent facilities. So now we see it's gotten out of hand in Vrindavan. Every advertisement, luxury apartments, luxury furniture, luxury this, luxury that, luxury food. It's supposed to be tapovan, but people don't want to come for that. But if they think this can be luxurious is the opposite of tapasya. It's not good for spiritual advancement. You should live comfortably, eat nicely, but not luxuriously. People like to eat luxuriously. They have restaurants that if you go to Chinatown, people waiting outside and they get a plate with 50 different things on it, right? And so many different kinds of drinking and luxury. And of course, they get sick also. So, but we don't want to, devotees don't want to live luxuriously. Like in Chopari, Pune, those brahmacharis, most of them have master's degrees from prestigious universities. Some of them, many from where they could have very high paying jobs, but they're sleeping on straw mat with a mosquito net. They have one little locker about, it's about this wide, that big, and then it goes back, and all their things are in there. And they live like that. And when they sleep everywhere, they're in the hallway, anywhere, because there's not enough space. only a few of the senior managers have like their own room because they have to keep really organized because they're taking care of so many different things, college programs and building new temples or hundreds of brahmacharis and so they need a little privacy. But most of them are sleeping on a straw mat, not even a foam rubber mat or not any kind of mattress, just a thin straw mat. And they're all very happy and they're all teaching, very enthusiastically. And they have no money. They don't expect to get any money. So anyway, so we can learn from all these pastimes of Krishna. They're all very, very instructive. I was hearing the Mahabharata will have huge descriptions of some Leela. All details, like of the war, every weapon and every arrow and, every drop of blood coming out from somebody and, and a little bit philosophy. The Bhagavatam will have a short description of the same Leela and then a lot of philosophy. If you go into Mahabharata, sometimes you find the same Leela, but it goes on and on and on in detail. But in the Bhagavatam, you just get the basic story and then so much philosophy. And then the Prabhupada in the purports, he's expanding the philosophy or clearing up or, what it's really all about in terms that we can deal with because it's not so simple. So, but it's simple, it is simple. Like we say in Japanese, fukuzatsu janai. You don't have to complicate. Simple living doesn't mean you are kojaki or that you're sleeping on the street, sleeping on the bench, with all your newspapers piled up or something, or whatever trash you picked up. We don't say that you have to do that, but yet we have to uncomplicate the life. Don't complicate our thinking too much. Don't complicate our life too much, have too many things that we can't keep track. Many non-devotees even may understand that. Even in Japan, there's a movement now called minimalization. And many, many people, they just threw out or gave away almost everything they have. They just keep like 3 pants, 3 shirts, few things, and get a small apartment somewhere. So they don't, and then they simplify their life, and they feel much happier. They don't worry about so many things. I remember in my own life, when I was in high school, I had my mother's credit card, so I would go and buy new shirts all the time. Expensive shirts. And I had so many. And my mother, even I wanted to wear something twice, I could never do it because she would wash it immediately when I took it off. So I never thought about it. And every night, I'd lay in bed thinking, how will I dress tomorrow? Which shirt will I wear? Which socks will I wear? How will I really look nice? And then I moved out. So after some time, I had this huge pile of dirty shirts. So I took all my mother washed. And then I thought, this is too much. And I just left. I just kept a couple. So I didn't have to think about what to wear and have so much trouble washing. And he said, like Steve Jobs, he always wore the same black shirt and black pants. Clean, but he didn't have any different fashion. Albert Einstein, he was getting dressed to meet some big government person or something, king. His wife was telling me, you should dress more nicely. He said, if he wants to see my clothes, he can look in my closet. If he wants to meet me, this is me. So that's so simple. So you can think of higher things. In our case, it means to think of Krishna, especially in thinking how to spread Krishna consciousness. Everybody has a disturbed mind, almost everybody. It's considered in this day and age the biggest medical problem is mental disease. Many people tell you how their son and teenage son is, depressed, or they don't want to come out of the room, they don't want to do anything. In America, so many young people taking all kinds of medicine for the mind. Even dogs, they take antidepressant. We say this one is too active, this one is not active. It's all the mind. Because the minds are not satisfied. Because ultimately they don't think of Krishna. They're just so cluttered with the material desires and great expectations that they can't, possibly achieve. The answer is there.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome.
Hi, Krishna Guru Maharaj. I'm sorry, I'm back. Let me translate. I'm sorry.
Vaisheshika didn't come.
Oh, yes, I canceled. I asked him.
So we've been speaking English. I don't know if anybody is listening.
Yes. Let me translate.
We can try to go over it because it's an interesting verse, like all verses.
ここは興味深い説です。
But Chitraketu, it's explained, he wasn't criticizing Lord Shiva.
で、チトラケイトは言ってるわけです。別にシュバを。
Somebody's saying here that the sound is very low. They can't hear me. This is on this one. That's on the Facebook. I don't know why. Because it's turned up. Usually the sound is very good. So anyway, because he first glorified Lord Shiva.
まず彼はシュバを栄光をたたえました。
That was his real impression that, he just glorified how great Lord Shiva is. But then he's surprised that Lord Shiva is sitting like that.
で、ところがシュバがそのように座っているのを見て驚きました。
But it's not like he's saying it's really bad.
そんなに悪いことではなかった。
So that's very interesting. So that's the thing, that mentality is the most important thing, attitude.
で、メンタリティ、どこに心の姿勢がある、心の姿勢があるかということが最も大切なことです。
This, like even in karmic companies, they hire people more based on their attitude than on their work.
で、その姿勢というのは態度というのが大事なんですが、大きな普通の神の会社でもそうです。どのような姿勢にあるかということによって人を雇います。
Because they know that if someone has a good attitude, their service attitude, then they can learn how to do things.
で、いい姿勢にある人、使えるという姿勢は、正しい姿勢にある人は物事を多く学べます。
But you can't learn to have a good attitude.
悪い態度では物を学ぶことができません。
Or like honesty, that now when they hire people, they have tests, try to figure out if someone is honest.
で、例えばその正直さということがですけれども、その人が正直かということが試されたりします。
Because in companies, the employees, they steal a lot of stuff.
っていうのは会社でもかなり盗難というのが多く行われているからです。
Now in Japan, everybody is honest, so this may not. But in America, they say, like a department store, they mark everything up extra 10% because to make up for all the things that employees steal.
で、例えば日本人は正直なので問題ありませんが、アメリカなどではデパートの商品に 10% 余分の高い値段をつけています。それはなぜかというと、従業員が盗むコストを抑えるためです。
But it's the same thing. The company thinks, you can teach people how to do things, but you can't teach them to be honest.
で、どのように物事をすればいいかということを人に教えることはできるけれど、どのようにして正直にあるかということを教えることはできません。
They can just make it so difficult to steal.
で、盗みにくいような状況を作ります。
There's so many different checks, so it's hard to steal stuff.
もういろんなチェックとかのシステムを作って、盗みにくいようなことを作ります。
But if everybody's honest, it'd be much better.
しかしみんなが正直だったらそんなことをする必要はないわけです。
So a good attitude is very important.
ですから、良い態度である。これはとても大切なことです。
Like I said, that the best food for someone is a mother's cooking.
で、一番美味しいお料理、それはお母さんの作ったお料理だということがあります。
Now, why is that?
どうしてでしょうか？
Right? Because the mother loves the child, so when she cooks, she's thinking of the welfare of the child.
なぜならお母さんというのは子供をとても愛しているので、いかに子供のためになるかということを考えて料理をしているからです。
Like Mother Yasoda.
母ヤショダがそうです。
She would go, she had special cows that especially gave good milk.
で、特にいいミルクを出す牛を持っていました。
And then she would collect special herbs from the mountains and everything to feed those cows.
そして山に薬草を積んできます。
So she could make a really nice milk sweets for Krishna.
そうすることによって、もう最高に美味しい、乳製品のお菓子を作ることが、クリシュナのために作ることができるからです。
So like Damodar is coming up, but like when she put Krishna down because the milk was boiling over.
で、彼女が、クリシュナを下の上から下ろしました。ミルクが沸騰したからです。
Was because that milk was special milk for Krishna, and she didn't want it to be wasted.
というのは、クリシュナのための特別なミルクだったので、無駄にしたくなかったからです。
It was for Krishna's service. When we read in the Chaitanya Charitamrita about the Damayanti,
チャイタムの中に書かれています。
the sister of Radhava Pandit, they cook so many things for Lord Chaitanya.
その誰かのお兄さん、お姉さんがなんか特別なものを作りました。
So there's detailed descriptions of all these different things she was making.
で、さまざまないろんなことが詳しく載っています。
And Prabhupada says we should study and learn these things.
で、プラパが私たちはそういうことをよく勉強しなきゃならないとおっしゃいました。
So if the cooks have a loving attitude towards Krishna, they will do that.
で、クリシュナへの大きな愛を持ってお料理をする。
So just cooking for Krishna's pleasure. If they're cooking for their own pleasure, for money, not the same.
で、クリスチャンのために喜びのためにすることと、自分の喜び、自分のお金のためにする行為とは別のものです。
So she was making all kinds of sweets and pickles.
で、彼女はもう様々な素晴らしいもの、素晴らしいピクルスなどを作りました。
And then she made some things with ginger because she thought maybe Lord Chaitanya would get it.
でそして、生姜を使って、シュチャイタイナがお好きじゃないかと思って、特別な生姜の何かを作りました。
So she was thinking of his health.
でそれはシュチャイタイナの健康のことを考えていたわけです。
And so Sachimata, cooking like that, Yasoda, love, motherly love.
で、シャチマタも、ヤシュダも、母としての愛を込めて作っていました。
Then the next best is from the wife, because theoretically the wife loves the husband.
そしてその次に来るのが奥さんです。奥さんというのはご主人を愛している。
She wants the husband to be healthy and happy, so she'll cook very nicely.
主人が健康で幸せでいられるようにと考えるので、奥さんはいい料理を作ります。
And then should be temple prasadam, because that's cooked for Krishna.
そしてまた、テンプルプラサダもそうです。なぜなら、クリスチャンのために作っている。
Like, I don't know if it's still true to some extent in India. Many men, they only eat the wife cooking.
で、奥さんの料理しか食べないという主人がインドではたくさんいます。
But that's changing, and everybody's eating in restaurants, and then the husband and wife don't get attached to each other as much.
で、そういうことも、現在ではどんどんなくなってきて、レストランなんかで食べて、別に気にしないということが、
Because there's no exchange of love. The restaurant is just.
で、その愛の交換というのがあまりないからです。
There's no bhakti, and so devotees don't eat that stuff.
で、
It used to be like Prabhupada was very strict talking.
で、ディボティはあまりレストランで食べません。昔、当初はシュラプラパーダはとてもそういうことに厳格でした。
Now we see devotees, oh, this bread is all right, there's no eggs.
でも今はでは、このレストランは大丈夫、卵が入ってない。
And this is a vegan restaurant.
ここはベーガンレストランだから。
But it's not prasadam. It's not cooked for the consciousness of the cook is most important.
お料理をする人の意識、それが最も大切なことです。
If we're preaching, it's the attitude that's the most important thing, not what you say.
で、話すこと、それも何を話すかという姿勢、そこが一番大事です。
If you're teaching someone, trying to correct their mistakes, if it's out of love and you're really trying to help that person, then it's appreciated.
例えば、誰かに何かを言う、誰かの何かの間違いをしている、その時でも、その人の愛情を本当に持っていることが伝われば、それはうまくいきます。
Or if, we're angry and we're thinking it's stupid and I'm better than this person, then it creates big trouble.
しかし、ただ怒りによって、またはその人は自分よりも劣っていると、自分の方が上なんだという気持ちから怒ったとしたら、その指摘はうまくいきません。
So here, Chichiketu, this is explained that he was just surprised, but his main thing was just thinking how great Lord Shiva.
で、このチロケイトは驚きました。しかし、シバの偉大さを。
It wasn't like Daksha. Daksha, was envious of Lord Shiva, critical.
はシュバの妬みを。
So when he criticized, he really believed he was superior.
ですから、ダクシャが指摘をしたとき、それは自分の方がシバよりも上だと思っていたからです。
So he ended up with the head of a goat. Daksha ended up having a goat's head.
ですから、ダクシャはそのヤギの頭をもらうことになりました。
And then later he couldn't live that way. He took birth again, but then he criticized Narada Muni.
で、また今度生まれ変わって、今度はナラダムニを侮辱しました。
I'm much better than you.
私はあなたよりも上だ。
I'm a householder. It's much better than a bogus, and really criticizing. And even though Narada is his brother.
私は大事です。で、あなたみたいな偽物のも分かっていると。
So he suffered. He got all kinds of reactions.
で、いろいろなその反動を受けることになります。
So there's Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes different offenses against devotees.
で、バクティナルタークルは様々な種類の献身者に対する侮辱について語っています。
One is to physically harm a devotee.
一つはその実際に具体的に体に与える侮辱。
That's kind of obvious.
これはもう見ても分かることです。
To kill a devotee.
例えばディボーティを殺す。
Can't remember, there's a couple. But then one is to not become joyful on seeing a devotee.
それからまた次の侮辱として、その献身者を見て、その、喜びの気持ちが湧かないということ。
That one is, do we become joyful every time we see any devotee?
私たちはそのどの献身であっても喜びを覚えるべきです。
Are we selective? I was saying how the other day, and how people are trying to judge who's a higher in position, who's lower.
なんかその献身者がどの献身から上かという。
So I was remembering, I can still remember when I joined the movement, even though it was so long ago.
で、昔ですけれども、私は今でも自分が入った時のことを覚えています。
So at that time, the oldest devotee was sometimes 6 months longer devotee than the next one.
その当時でしたら、その話の中で一番年上の、一番古いデボーティーといっても自分よりも6ヶ月先に入ったとか、そんなもんでした。
The oldest devotee would be 5 years devotee.
で、一番もう古い人、それはもう5年前に先に入った人。
But mostly in the temple, everybody was more or less the same age.
でもほとんど同じような人、同じような感じ。
But everybody paid obeisances, every devotee they met all day long. Oh, please accept my obeisance.
その頃はもう会う献身者にみんなオベイセンスをしていました。
Say, Haribol, spirit soul, please set my obeisance.
ハリボーとどうか尊敬の礼を受けてくださいと。
But now we're thinking, well, is this one, is he really a good devotee? Maybe he should pay obeisance to me. Well, I'm older. Well, I'm this, I'm that, And
けど今でもそうじゃなくて、まあ、デボーティー山ほどいるし、あっちの方が私にお弁当してくるべきだろうというふうに考えます。私
some
も
countries are more, but sannyasi, most devotees will pay obeisance.
まあ、
Not
サン
everyone.
ニャシに対しては大体みんなオベイセンスをします。
Because sometimes, well, I heard so many sannyasis fall down. I don't know about this one. So we're calculating so many things instead of just respecting the soul, the Krishna in everyone's heart.
で、ハートの中にいるクリシュナに、尊敬の礼を捧げる。
I remember I went with Mahatma one time. We did that Dandavat Parikram at Radhakund.
で、マハッタマと、ラーダクンダで、ダンダバーパリキラムをしたのを覚えています。
So it's quite blissful. And, sometimes we pay obeisance and there's a dog right in front of you or a pig.
で、まあ、ダンダをしながら回っていくわけですが、ダンダをして見上げたら目の前にいるのは犬だったり豚だったりということもあります。
Of course, they're Dambasis, so it's good. Even though they're in the body of a dog or a pig, they're living in the holy Dham.
で、まあ、そういう、豚の体を持っていようと、犬の体を持っていようと、聖地にいる魂です。
But it was very purifying. Just keep paying obeisances over and over.
で、その聖なる目を唱えながらずっとダンダをしていく、そういうのはそれで、とても浄化されるものです。
So, but that's the Bhagavatam, one place it says, the function, the real activity of the soul is to pay obeisances.
バーガーバタには書いてありますが、なんだっけ、魂のファンクション、機能
To be respectful to everyone.
というのは、すべての人にその尊敬、敬意を持つということ。
Starting at home with the devotees.
で、まず、家庭で始めることです。
And then gradually everyone. So that's why we go out and preach. And
そうやってそれがどんどん広がって、そして、外に行って、その人をできる。
people are suffering so much.
で、人々はとても苦しんでいるのです。
And ultimately because they don't know Krishna.
究極的に人々はみんなクリスナのことを知らないからです。
Like Japan and America, compared to billions of people in the world, and we're living in great luxury.
で、日本、アメリカ、たくさんの人が住んでいますが、ほとんどは弱者です。
There's food everywhere. Everyone has a house.
どこにでも食べ物がある。みんな家を持っている。
Hot water,
お湯も出る。
gas in the kitchen.
みんなガスも。
So many places they can't even find firewood to cook.
で、お料理するための竹が見つからないような場所だってあるんです。
Billions of people don't hardly have any water.
水をない人たちがして何百万人もいます。
We use more water every day just flushing toilets than many people have for their whole family.
で、私たちは毎日トイレで水をガンガン流しますけれども、家族のための、飲み水のない国だってあるんです。
But still, you see people, nobody smiles. Everybody's just look like they're just on their way to be gas chambers. In the morning, we went out and, to catch the train, and you look at people's face, they all look like they're on their way to the electric chair or something. They look like they're being off to be killed, hanging, electric chair, gas.
はい。で、毎日、私たちは電車に乗って、朝、出勤していくわけですけれども、でも、一緒に電車に乗っている人たちの顔を見たら、まるで、その死刑を執行される電気椅子の上に乗っているような、うつろな顔をしています。
So it's ultimately because they don't know Krishna. They don't any purpose to what they're doing.
それはなぜかというと、人々はクリシュナを知らない、生きている人生の目的を知っていないからです。
Like, they make stories like long ago when, people were living in the forest, they're afraid of wild animals, they're afraid of snakes.
人々は村に住んでいて、獰猛な動物とか蛇とかを恐れていました。
It makes sense to be afraid of those things.
まあ、それは恐れて当然です。
But now, they're just afraid that maybe I don't have the right clothes on, or I don't have the right
でも今の人々は、
tie, or I don't have the right haircut.
ちゃんとした
Fearful.
服良くないんじゃないか。私のしてるヘアスタイル良くないんじゃないかと、そういう恐れを抱いています。
So devotees, we're trying to wake people up.
ですから、デボティはそういう人々の目を目覚めさせなければなりません。
Every once in a while, somebody wakes up. If we just go out chanting and we're offering, books of prasad, some people wake up.
でも私たちはいつも出かけて唱えて、そして本を配れば目覚める人たちもいます。
And gradually, I was saying in the beginning, I just saw you can tune in on the internet. They have this festival in Ukraine every year.
初めに言ったんですが、インターネットでユークレイン
Ukraine, it's a country, used to be part of Russia.
ウクライナだ。
Ukraine. Ukraine, you say. They say Ukraine.
Where are Chuta copies from?
They have the festival, devotee festival, more than 8,000 devotees in one tent.
ウクライナでそのあるフェスティバルは、8000人以上の人が来ました。
I just saw Dinabandhu Prabhu was chanting, and the whole everybody dancing, everybody ecstatic.
でもディーナバンドさんも加わって見ましたけど、みんなでもみんなが
And that festival is free. There's one very rich devotee he sponsored.
そして、その大きなフェスティバルが無料なんです。あるとてもお金持ちの人がお金を出しました。
And of course, other devotees give donation, but they don't say any price or anything.
もちろん、しかし、その会費というお金というのは集めません。
I'm so unfortunate. Every year, I think next year I'm going to go.
で、私は毎年、来年こそ絶対行くぞと思うんですが、なかなかその行為に耳はありません。
Somehow I get my schedule and it doesn't work.
いつもなんかスケジュールが入ってしまっています。
I'm not fortunate, but 8,000 devotees all dancing in one tent.
で、そこに参加できないのは不運ですけれども、8000人の献身者が歌い踊っているんです。
And that country, might have the population of Tokyo.
で、そこの人口というのは東京の人口と同じかもしれません。
So there's different types of people, different places.
だから、ところ変われば人も変わる。
They just installed Radha Madhava just like Mayapur.
マヤプルと同じようにラーナマーダバをインストールしています。
And they have such a huge temple.
大きなお寺です。
And they had a big war there. It's still going on in part of the country. And still distribute more books.
それでも人々はずっと。
Many devotees had their houses bombed and lost.
で、爆発で、爆撃を受けて家をなくしている献身者もたくさんいます。
But maybe having 50 people in Japan is even more spectacular because Japan is such a place. People are different. They don't have a natural religious. It's covered over much more.
ところ変われば人変わるわけですね。それで、そんな宗教心を持っていない人にもたくさんいます。
I'm not sure if Prabhupada said it about Japan or Hong Kong, but he said distributing one back to Godhead there was like 1,000 something.
で、これが香港の話だったか日本の話だったかよく覚えていませんけれども、一冊、バック・トゥ・ガッドヘッドをその香港あるいは日本で、配ることが何千本の本を配ったことになると、匹敵すると。
So, anyway, we shouldn't think we can be like Chichiketu and just criticize everybody. He wasn't really criticizing.
とにかく私たちは自分がチットラゲートと同じようで、批判をしていいと思ってはなりません。実際彼は本当に批判をしていたわけではありません。
He said in another purport yesterday or the summary that he made him a demon so he could go back to Godhead quicker.
で、彼はその昨日の、解説のところの用紙にもありましたけれども、悪魔の方を選んだから早く精神科に帰ることができたのです。
Because he left it, he was preaching to Indra.
彼はインドラにプリチング。
He knew he would be killed.
自分は殺されることは分かっていました。
Indra was afraid of being killed.
で、インドラは彼のことを怖がっていました。
And the demon wanted to be killed.
で、その悪魔は殺されることを望んでいました。
So that's the difference between pure devotee and mixed.
純粋な献身者と、混じる者の献身者の違いです。
So any comment or question? We got only.
では、何か質問がある方はどうぞ。
We got Jamuna and
山名さんとモヒンリさんいらっしゃいます。
Jamuna's picture is not very good. It's yeah, it's very too much light. It doesn't show up.
山名さんの写真は明るすぎてよくないです。
Mohini's got a very nice picture. Krishna.
モヒンさんの写真はいい。
Tapaswini's is clear.
タバスも綺麗です。
All right.
質問いいでしょうか。
はい、どうぞ。
ですね、僕まだテンプルに来て2ヶ月ちょっとなんですけど、実際にテンプルで起きているトラブル、人間関係のトラブルって、ほとんどそのクリシュナへの愛のために、こう責任を持ってクリシュナのために仕事をしたいっていう仕事へのこだわりによるものがほとんどトラブルの原因だと思うんですね。で、クリシュナへの愛として責任を持って仕事をしたいっていう仕事へのこだわりと、その自分の仕事についてあまり詳しくない他のデボーティーの意見がこうぶつかり合うんですね。その責任を持って仕事をしたいという仕事へのこだわりと他のデボーティーの意見、どちらを優先すべきでしょうか。
Okay, so Bhaktivinoda said it has been almost 2 months since he joined, and then he has been trying to serve. He's trying to be responsible for based on the love for Krishna. But most of the trouble he gets is between devotees, and then practically he wants to be responsible. And the other saver, what he does is something which other devotees don't understand. And then so those devotees who doesn't understand, technically what he's doing, and criticize him. So which should he take it seriously, his own responsibility he's feeling toward, based on Krishna's love, or just to listen to devotees' opinion who doesn't understand what I'm doing technically.
Yeah. We have to. It's hard to cover right now. When we have new devotees, it should be like only one person directs them.
で、これは難しいことなんですね。はじめ、この配わったばっかりの人を指導するのは一人の人であるべきなんです。
Otherwise, it's too confusing,
でないとあまりにもいろんな人がいろんなことを言うとややこしくなってしまいます。
Everybody thinks, oh, here's a new person, I can tell what to do.
みんなが、新しく入ってきた、ちょっと教えてやんなきゃという気持ちにいます。
So this is something we have to work on. We haven't had a new devotee in the temple for so long.
これは私たちが何とかしなきゃいけないことですね。というのはしばらくその新しい人を
Nobody has any experience.
ちょっと私たちの方の経験のなさが問題となっています。
So, the new person is to be nurtured and cared for and trained, not to be exploited.
ですから、新しい人たちは正しく指導をしていただきたくなります。
It's true for everybody, but it's the same for everybody. We should be very careful and considerate of everybody.
で、その献身者のことをとても気をつける、気を配るということ、これはどの献身者に対しても同じことです。
Because we don't know what people are suffering. Everybody's got problems. We don't know what they are.
で、それはなぜかというと、人々はみんな苦しんでいるわけですけれど、そのそれぞれの人の苦しみというのを分かっていません。分かっていません。
All right, so this is something that should be discussed amongst all the devotees.
で、今おっしゃったことの回答としては、私たち側の方がどうするかということをちゃんと話し合って決めなくちゃならないと思います。
Then we can learn from, even companies, when some new person comes in a company, it's not like everybody's constantly telling them what to do. One person tells them what to do.
それは会社でも同じことで、新入社員が入ってくる。そうすると、誰も彼もがその新入社員に教えるんじゃなくて、その担当となる一人の人がその人に教える。
All right? And we all have to be getting out and chanting the holy name.
で、大切なのは、外に出て、聖なる皆を唱えることです。
This is what we have to offer. No one else has. No one else has the Prema Sankirtan.
で、誰もそのプレマサンキルタンというのを持っていません。
There's the Buddhist temples or churches have incredible buildings that could never be duplicated. And, we don't have that.
で、お寺とか、キリスト教とか、ものすごい素晴らしい建物を持っていますが、私たちには、
but we don't have unlimited money to.
私たちはその自然のお金も持ってませんし、
But we have this Harinam Sankirtan.
私たちにはハリナマサンキルタンがあります。
We have the chanting of the holy name. We have the Bhagavad Gita. We have the real knowledge.
で、唱えるその聖なる皆があります。バガバッドギータがあります。
So that's what we can give people.
で、これは皆さんに配ることができます。
We went to that Zenkoji temple yesterday.
昨日、善光寺さんに行きました。
Famous temple of Nagana. They only have darshan once every 7 years.
で、7年ぶりにダルシャンをしました。
But they have beautiful buildings,
素晴らしい建物です。
Really incredible. We have to pay to go inside and look at it.
で、お金を払って中を見せていただきます。
They don't have any kirtan, anything.
けれども、キルタも何もやっていません。
Just look at it.
ただ見るだけです。
But it's very nice atmosphere because it's so big place and beautiful trees.
大きい建物でとても綺麗なところで、雰囲気がとてもいいです。
So it'll be a long time before we can duplicate that and have, 5 acres of land or something for the Hare Krishna temple.
そんな大きなお寺があります。
But sometime Krishna will give us a question.
けれど、クリシュナは時に応じて与えてくださいます。
Like in Pune. Pune was temple always trouble.
例えば、プネはそうですが、プネはいつも問題に見舞われていました。
Then Radhesham Prabhu went there.
ラデシャンプラブが、
And he started preaching in the university.
で、大学でのプリーチング活動を勉強して。
And he was, very expert and he made a lot of devotees.
で、たくさんの献身をしていました。
So they had a nice temple, not very big.
で、そこには、お寺はそんな大きくないですが、いいお寺があります。
And they had the deities and everything. Quite nice and doing very well.
で、とても綺麗な儀式がいらっしゃいます。
And there was one old man that was very rich.
で、一人とても裕福な老人の方がいらっしゃって。
And he was worshiping the Balaji in his house,
で、彼は家でバラジを崇拝しています。
He got too old.
中
He
高
got too old to take care of his deity.
で、彼はあまりに年を取って、そのバラジの崇拝ができなくなりました。
So he gave that Balaji to the devotees.
で、それでそのバラジをお寺に差し上げて、献身にあげました。
Then he gave his house. It was right in the city.
そして町の中にある家もあげました。
So they sold that house and they were able to buy a big land in the edge of the city.
で、そこに大きな、土地も。
Yeah. And then they started collecting and they had so many devotees, from this college preaching.
で、その大学のプリーチングからものすごいお金が入りました。
And those devotees were all over the world working in banks and IBM and Microsoft and everything.
で、その大学から、IBM などマイクロソフトのさまざまなところに、その生徒
So
が
they just, they collected from all those people that they've been preaching to, and they built a special temple just for Balaji.
で、ただバラジーから走って、そのいろんなところにたくさんの賢者を見ました。
And then they built this incredible big temple for the
そして信じられないほどの大きなお寺となりました。
And they're preaching so much that even though they have 200 brahmacharis, they don't have enough to go out to all the schools that are inviting. So many schools and companies invite the devotees to come and teach.
で、たくさんのそのブラマチャリとかいるわけですけれども、いろんな、会社とかが、をするために、デボティを招いています。
That they don't have enough preachers, even for that. So they have to invite all the teachers to come to the temple and get.
で、そんなに大きな会社で、
Friday and Saturday, they have thousands of people come just for special classes.
で、その大きな会社でも、その先生がいない、プリーチングする人がいない。だから賢者が招かれるわけで、そして土曜日は
It started small. Of course, Pune is like the intellectual city of India.
で、まずそれはプネから始まりました。プネというのは、インドでもその、教育的なところ。
Many universities there, but the idea is if we just keep going, something happens.
とにかく、その大事なところは、やり続ければ、大きくなるということ。
And be satisfied, with what we have.
そして、自分の持っているもので、満足をすること。
I just looked up the population of Ukraine.
まず、ウクライナの、人口のことを見ていました。
So it's 44 million.
4400万人。
That's what they say, what they call Greater Tokyo.
で、それは東京よりも大きいとらしいです。
Greater Tokyo includes Yokohama, I think.
東京以上、横浜以内かな。
Yeah, that big area is about the same, 40 million people. But they have 8,000 devotees.
ここに、8000人のデボティが集まった。
In the history of preaching in Japan, we have 50 devotees initiated. 50 devotees have been initiated.
In Japan.
Yeah.
はじめ、日本では50人のデボティが
Gojunen initiated in the history of preaching in Japan.
で、日本のプリーチングの歴史からいくと、50人の研修者が日本を受けた。
And it started way before Ukraine preaching.
そして、ウクライナが始まるよりももっともっと以前から
Because they were communists.
始まっている。
So different kinds of places, Some places you can grow food all year round, you can grow anything. Other places you can hardly grow anything because of the land or the rain or something. Every place is different.
で、場所によって違うわけですけど、日本はウクライナがその始まるよりもずっと以前から始まっているのに、入門を受けた人の人数はまだ50人そこそこ。
But everywhere people need Krishna. That's what they're doing.
でも場所は違っても、どこの人もみんな人はクリシュナを必要としています。
That's what they need. Nothing else is going to make them happy. Not getting a better job or a bigger car or a better haircut is not going to make anybody happy.
仕事が良くても、ヘアスタイルが良くなっても、もっと良くなっても、そんなもので人は幸せになれます。
Okay, so time to stop. We got the daily greeting in a few minutes. I have another class. Thank you very much. Good translating. And we'll carry on. Connection's pretty good, right?
Yeah, yes.
When you see me on your screen, does it look like I'm dead body?
No, clear.
The color is bright?
Yes, clear, very clear. With the proper smoothie and everything.
Because on the screen here, the colors are really bad. Okay. Yeah, I look purple. You know, like I just had a heart attack. There's no blood circulating. But on my iPad, it's very bright.
Oh yes, your iPad is really good. I saw the kids performing with the guitars. Was it clear? I was impressed.
Yeah. Okay. Share, share.
はい、ありがとうございました。
Everybody should one time in their life go to the Utao Yoga in Nagano.
はい。皆さん一度は長野の歌ヨガに参加してください。
I have a bunch of pictures and a few little movie clips, but you have to really be there to catch it.
まあ、写真もたくさん撮ってきましたけれど、皆さん実際に一度は行ってみてください。
It wouldn't be that hard for other people to do, but it takes like Alyssa's got a certain Shakti, but you know, it's really far out. And how they were all chanting, but she's, you know, doing all kinds of games and clapping hands up this way, that way, and young people, old people, and all kinds of people together, everybody really happy. Lots of people.
彼女のすごい上手に歌をいただいてる歌。
2 hours of chanting.
もう2時間ほどずっとみんな唱えていた。素晴らしいです。
Haribo. Atsama Savetana Kenshin Shane Kore. Shishi Guru to Goranga Savetana Kore. Okay, one person here on Facebook was saying it sounded bad, but no one else said that. I just started talking louder, maybe that helped. Acha. Click.
Oh.
Yeah.